Hello and a very good day. So we are from Group 5 and we will be presenting the case of Malaysia Airlines, the first case for the case study series 3. So the team members for Group 5 are Kumanan, Liling, Brian, Chan Munyi, Jay, and also myself, Izati. Passing over to Jay and Liling to present question 1.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay. Along with me, my team member Lily. We will be looking at question number 1 on the organization key challenges. So, Malaysian Airlines has faced repeated financial distress over the last 2 decades. So, in 97-98, during the Asian financial crisis, it recorded about 260 million in loss. So, this also was followed by a major loss in 2005, about 1.2 billion, and the record breaking in 2011, about 2.5 billion. So, this is actually the largest in its history. And then in 2014, the most shattering year for Malaysian Airlines because of a MH370's disappearance and MH17's crash. So this incident damaged the passengers' confidence, especially China, and they was one of their key markets. So this has actually leading to a sharp decline in airline bookings. So that year, the airline was burning about 5 million daily, a clear sign of financial unsustainability. So between 2015 and 2018, even after being taken over by Khazanah National, the company continued to bleed money. So in 2020, also due to COVID-19 pandemic, revenue dropped about 94%, which actually further worsening the situation. So additionally, Malaysian Airlines share price actually fell by 80% from 2009 to 2014 before it became a delisted from the stock exchange. So this trend clearly shows a long-standing issue of unprofitability driven by high operational costs, poor crisis handling, and also declining consumers' trust. So next, let's look at the restructuring effort and the financial support provided by the government. So Malaysian Airlines has attempted multiple restructuring initiatives over the years. In 2006 and 2008, major turnover plans were launched but failed to deliver a lasting improvement. And then a share swap between Air Asia was proposed in 2011, but this was cancelled due to the union pushback. And this situation escalated after the 2014 tragedies, leading to full nationalization by Khazanah National and the launch of a 12-point 5-year restructuring plan. So this plan involved cutting about 6,000 jobs, refocusing on regional routes and renegotiating the contracts. However, leadership change and poor governance disrupted the momentum. So from the cost perspective, if you can look into the table, between 2001 and 2014, Khazanah injected over 17.4 billion. And in 2014 alone, another 6 billion was invested to stabilize the airline. And then total injection reached about 24 billion by 2019, and 2018 about 3.1 billion has written off as losses. So what's more concerning is that Malaysian Airlines still requires about 1 billion every year just to keep operating. So this is not for growth or expansion, but simply just to survive. So in short, despite to all these multiple restructuring attempts and billions of support, the airline continued to struggle due to political interference, stiff low-cost competition, poor cost efficiency, and also limited revenue growth. So until these deeper issues are addressed, financial sustainability will remain out of reach. So thank you from my part. Now I'll pass to my team member, Lily. Thank you.
So Malaysia Airlines also faced two critical challenges that I will present in operational inefficiency and political interference. So first, let's look at the numbers in 2014. Malaysia Airlines employed 181 staff per aircraft, compared to Singapore Airlines 138. That's a 31% more employee per plane, yet must generate just 240,000 of revenue per employee, while SIA earns $699,000, nearly 3 times more. This inefficiency wasn't temporarily for 8 straight years from 2006 to 2014, and mass costs grew 2%. This imbalance led to daily loss of 5 million and unsustainable financial drain. So I'll present on the next slide. Beyond the operational issues, political decisions severely limited MAS' ability to reform. In 2014, the government built out MAS with a 6 million restructuring plan, but with strict conditions, no layoff and no rebranding. Even after the MH tragedies damaged its reputations, in 2016, when CEO Christopher Mueller proposed a rebranding strategy to rebuild the trust, the government blocked it, citing national pride over business needs. And by 2019, and potential investor were required to keep all 14,000 employees and the MAS brand, making it nearly impossible to attract the private capital. The result is RM 17.4 billion in taxpayers build-ups, and a business model trapped by politics rather than market realities. In short, Malaysia Airlines was caught in a vicious cycle, operationally inefficiency with high cost and low productivity, and politically constrained from making tough by necessary reform. And today, this challenge made recovery nearly impossible.
Next, I will answer question 2, which is the use of strategic leadership model to resolve Malaysia Airlines' challenges. So the first step is to identify their key problems. So their first problem is their chronic financial distress post MH370 and MH17. Besides that, they are also facing leadership instability, overstaffing, and political interference. They have also a failed restructuring effort and overambitious targets. So the strategic leadership model consists of 4 main components, and the first component is to set the right direction. So MAS needs to redefine itself as a regional premium carrier by leveraging their niche offerings, such as their Amal Hajj and Umrah services. They can also optimize their aircraft deployment on profitable routes. Besides that, the strategic leadership model also emphasizes on aligning the organization. So MAS can reduce their political interference and improve their governance, and use restructured performance metrics such as route profitability. They can also empower professional leadership with strategic autonomy. The third component of the strategic leadership model is to stabilize leadership and to foster inclusive change by staff retraining and voluntary exits. They can also build trust via transparent communication and morale programs for their employees. The last component of the strategic leadership model is to sustain performance by institutionalizing data-driven monitorings, such as establishing KPIs and customer feedbacks. They can also pursue smart alliances using One World and bilateral code shares. MAS also can use scenario planning for risks, such as volatile fuel prices and demand shifts. In a nutshell, strategic leadership enables transformation, not just planning, but executing with alignment, engagement, and adaptive learning.
Thanks, Kumanan. Now let me cover the question 3. To respond more rapidly and flexibly to change, MAS must develop the following strategy agility capabilities and processes based on the challenge and opportunities highlighted. First, form agile alliance with others airlines like OneWorld to share resources and expand network without heavy capital investment. Second, empower middle management and operational team to make rapid decisions without bureaucratic delays. Third, implement variable cost structures like flexible labor contract to scale operations up or down swiftly. Next, foster adaptive leadership through frequent training and successor planning to reduce turnover at the top. Follow with digitalizations. Invest in AI and automations for revenue management, booking system, and operational efficiency. Then, use data analytics to identify emerging customer preference and rapidly prototype new offering. Must also need to implement a flexible resource management system to quickly relocate finance, aircraft, and personnel in response to market shift. Transparent and real-time communication channel with employee, creditors, and the government to align restructuring efforts are needed. Lastly, develop a proactive crisis response framework including real-time monitor to external risks and predefined contingency plan. Finally, regularly simulate disruption to test response readiness. Thanks. I will pass to Steven to cover the next questions. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. And today I'm presenting the critical analysis of Malaysia Airlines, focusing on customer journey mapping and the identification of pain points that hinder the passenger's experience. This analysis is guided by the design thinking methodology, a human-centered approach that enables us to deeply understand user challenges and generate innovative, practical solutions. The next presenter will be presenting the design thinking methodology. So let me bring you all through the customer journey mapping overview. There are 6 key stages. The first one will be booking, secondly, pre-flight, airport experience, in-flight service, following by arrival and baggage claim, and lastly, post-flight engagement. At each of these stages, specific pain point have been identified, impacting customer satisfaction, brand royalties, and operational efficiencies. So the journey begins with booking a flight, often through the airline's website or mobile apps. Unfortunately, the customer frequently encounter the following issues, like outdated website or incomplete the apps, so that and also technical errors or limited a lack of clarity on in pricing or seats availability. So these difficulties can lead to frustration and may drive potential customers to complete their bookings with competing airlines that offer more user-friendly platforms. So the second one, pre-flight. After booking, the pre-flight stage involved digital check-in, luggage preparation, and receiving flight updates. Malaysian Airlines customers have reported a lack of timely communication regarding delay or gate changes. Also limited real-time updates while the mobile apps. Difficult in reaching customer support representative. This lack of proactive communication act unnecessary essential T to what should be a seamless experience. So the third will be the airport experience. At the airport, passenger experience efficiencies and clarities. Instead, they often face long queues at check-in and baggage drop counter, insufficient signage, especially for international travelers, inconsistent experience at launch and with ground personnel. These issues create a perception of deorganization and inefficiency, especially when compared with global peers such as Singapore Airlines. The next journey stage will be in flight. Once on board, the focus shifts to comfort and service. The key challenges include variability in crew professionalism and attentiveness, limited or outdated flight entertainment system. This this satisfaction with meal quality, particular on long haul flights. This aspect contributes heavily to the overall experience, and when lacking, can undermine customers' trust in the airline service standard. The next one, upon arrival, passengers often encounter delay in baggage retrieval and also insufficient guideline for connecting flight. A lack of ground staff assistance, especially during disruption. Such pain points significantly affect the final impression of the journey and may negate earlier positive interaction. The last journey stage will be the post-flight and engagement. Finally, after the journey is complete, Malaysia Airlines falls short in handling refunds or compensation effectively. Offering effective customer service post-travel and delivering competitive loyalty and reward programs. Without a strong post-flight engagement strategy, retaining frequent flyer become increasingly difficult. So, to summarize, the major pain points across the customer journey includes a, a substandard digital booking experience, inadequate communication before and during the travel, operational inefficiency at the airport, inconsistent in-flight quality, and weak after-sales service and customer retention programs. So thank you. This is my part, and I will pass to next presenter for the design.
Thank you very much. I will now proceed with presenting the first innovative solutions. So travel disruptions like gate changes, baggage delays, and so on often leave passengers confused and unsupported. So using the design thinking approach, we first empathize by mapping the customer journey during the disruptions. We then define the key pain points such as outdated booking system, lack of real-time updates, no baggage tracking, and so on. In the ideation phase, we explored ways to give passengers more control, which is through smarter digital tools. So our solution is to upgrade the MAS mobile app into an AI-powered assistant that delivers real-time alerts, chatbot-based flight support, live baggage tracking, terminal wayfinding, and also predictive congestions updates. So this approach is also proven. For instance, Singapore Airlines uses Chris chatbot that help to manage rebooking and updates during disruptions. Also like a Delta flight app that provides real-time gate and baggage info to keep passengers informed. By implementing this solution, MAS can boost customer confidence, reduce the help desk load, and also deliver a seamless digital journey that rivals the world's best airlines. Moving on to the second solutions, we believe that delivering a premium travel experience isn't just about the digital tools. It is also about the people behind the service. So MAS faces challenges like fragmented staff communication, inconsistent launch experiences, and also uneven cabin services. Basically, due to a lack of real-time visibility into staff morale as well as the passengers' sentiment. So using the customer journey mapping, we empathize with both passengers and also crew to uncover pain points like inconsistent service and team misalignment. We define the root causes such as limited feedback sharing and unclear expectations. Moving to the ideation phase, we explore tools to connect teams and improve consistency. Our solution is a real-time crew experience and service quality system with mood check-ins, micro feedback, and sentiment dashboard that align ground, launch, as well as in-flight staff. This is inspired by leading examples, for example, JetBlue, which links real-time customer feedback to crew recognition and development, as well as Delta Airlines, which uses predictive analytics to monitor fatigue and optimize team performance. By linking crew well-being directly to service quality, These solutions ensure consistent premium service delivery while uplifting the overall travel experience. That's all for Group 5. Thank you.